What video is that? Please, hello, please. What? Mogwaiing us? What? Not reading the chat? Listen to us? I'm listening to you. Twitter, hello. Wait, what? Holy shit. Holy fuck. Oh, this is like super new now. Let's go. No, let's not waste any time. Let's go. All right, my friends. Brand new leaders have been revealed for the Crimson Curse. We have 3 leaders we're going to talk about. One was revealed yesterday. I talked about it on stream, but I wanted to revisit it in kind of an all-together look here because we also got to see the gameplay from this leader. So Berger did confirm that there were 12 different categories that you can build into a Dana deck if you want to make use of Harmony and you actually want to make her ability as strong as you possibly can. Now, like Ardal, the ceiling of this card may approach unrealistic proportions, but I would say that the floor of Dana, in a world where we already know that Ardal is probably not a competitive deck when you try to stuff eight tactics into it. Although Ardal is more likely to have that ability with a four provision point tactic. It's not really about that. What I'm trying to say is that the floor seems pretty realistic because of Harmony being universally as good as Thrive in a deck that can care about it. If you have a unit that can proc it, you probably have a bunch of units that can proc it. So that's the thing. It has a universal mechanic that's very, very good. So when you bring the floor up, because Nilfgaard has like their on-deploy thing, but they only had 1 unit that cared about it, and that's Nausicaa Brigade. If they had 2 units that cared about it, well, that'd be pretty good. What does scoia'tael have? Like, a lot of units that care about it. So you're building the floor up with Dana. You're probably going to get it to 6 or 7 easily, and you might be fine at 8. But you got Elf, Human, Dwarf, Dragon, Tactic, Trap, Nature, Gnome, Beast, Treant, Dryad, and Alchemy. So that means that Dana can build a deck that can range from all sorts of places, and then it just becomes... The consistency is clearly better than John Calvert. John Calvert's ability, but John Calvert's ability held back by consistency. Considering cards like Albric and other cards that allow Nilfgaard to put things back in the deck and thin pretty reliably, you'd think that Calvert's consistency wasn't the problem. So, will Dana see play with the same consistency, better consistency? That depends on the deck you build around it. Nilfgaard had just a lot of better leaders to build strong decks around. However, Dana only really has one kind of deck that would make her strong, and that's Harmony. Calvert could build a bunch of different stuff. Calvert's ability is universal. Dana's ability is not. Dana's ability is deck-based. Calvert cares about the deck because it cares about cards you build around to play 2 things at once, like Stefan Skellen, like Cyanna. So Calvert's ability is kind of deck-based as well. So you could say that the viability of both of these leaders is going to be based around the viability of the combo you can create. If that combo is strong enough, will it matter? But I also don't think the strength of a single combo will matter because of Herald the Cripple not seeing any play. I'm not saying that Herald the Cripple needs to be seeing all play. I'm saying it has to see any play. I have not seen Herald the Cripple in a very, very long time on ladder. But I think that the leader is great. I think from a deck building perspective, it means that people are more excited to theory craft about this card. There's just nothing boring about the card. And her effect is powerful enough that people will always be thinking about how they can combo with this card. And she's also a good leader that cares about Harmony. And also, it doesn't necessarily mean that this is the only Harmony leader you can play. So from a card pool, and she has 15 provisions, which is probably the baseline. Like, below this, you have to really have a deck that really is good that you can build around. 15, I mean, you can make it work. You can make it happen with 15, I think. I think the card is just a great card. It's just an awesome card, interesting card. I love it. But we also got to see Svalblod, the new Skellige leader. Now, this leader here has another new mechanic that has never been seen before in GWENT. So thanks for continuing to provide new ways to look at how we can evaluate our leader based on what it can do for us and the charges it has. So let's talk about Svalblod. This card is great. This card is great for 2 reasons. One, he's a build-around, and also he has a new ability. So what Svalblod does for you is proc on damage abilities at will. So you can pop skulls, you can proc your Haymane Protectors on the turn you play it, so the engine, it's like using Meave to boost an engine. And he has 5 charges, okay? So you can treat it like Meave in that you can use it liberally in round 1 probably and not really worry too much about how it's going to affect your round 3. Very specifically, because in round 3, as long as you keep 1 charge, you will actually have a leader that is going to give you potentially as much value as Morvran could give you in round 3. So if you guys are laughing, look at this 0-point leader. I know it's a Kappa. Yeah, because he damages your own units. But he is proccing Berserk. He's popping skulls. He's proccing protectors. He's proccing Blue Boy Lugos. He's proccing Joanna. He's giving Joanna charges. He's doing everything. He's doing everything you think he can do. He's proccing. I mean, he's making sure that the Heime Spear Maiden or the Heime Shield Maiden will always be able to thin if you wanted to use one of your 5 charges for this. So look at, Eldane gets more for his charges, but he's a build around and you have charges. Svalblod is a build around also. 5 charges is a lot. 5 charges can be used a little bit. It can be used for a single on damage ping, which can get you, I can get you 3 points on a board easy, right? I can get you 3 points on a board. Because the thing about Berserk and the thing about on damage abilities is that there is an anti-control nature to it. People don't want to just throw stuff at your board if they don't want to ping your and the units that care about this are like 4 strength, right? Svalblod Fanatic, you're making 2 of those, whatever. Svalblod Priest is an engine, you get it to 4 instantly, and you don't even need to use Svalblod. The Protector is an engine, you get it to 4 right away. And now it's like, do I have pings that I can even use to kill these engines? Do I even want to inflict damage on their board anyway? Is it even valuable for me? So the fact that Svalblod, you need to look at Svalblod like the Meave of Skellige, even though you might have already been looking at Croc like that. Like, ooh, giving him that look. I'm giving Svalblod that look like, oh, like Meave, I can make a lot of 4-point engines, you say. You can make a lot of cards that care about my other new 4-point engine, Svalblod Priest. Oh, okay. Oh, and when I use my last charge, I can get 5 points back immediately. Oh, okay. So I have a very, very reliable way to play a beast on the board. Oh, that's cool. So I have an awesome beast deck and a way to reliably trigger a Beastmaster target in the same turn, and I have tools as well that can undoom all of Germain's cows and the other bear abominations that I will surely have on the board because I'm playing that Svalblod Totem and I'm playing Svalblod Fanatic. So you're saying I have 8 extra beasts in the board and I have a way of putting a beast on the board in the same turn that I am playing a Beastmaster that I either put in my graveyard with Elder Bear or I'm playing from Freya. Is that what you're saying? Because if that's what you're saying, I'm saying that this leader is going to fuck you up. Because he's also getting a lot of value in round 1 because all of his engines are living at 4. This leader is going to fuck you up. That's what I'm going to say. But there's more if you want to talk about combos that are going to talk about what Calanthe can do. Calanthe had 14 provision. I'm less worried about her. I am a little bit less worried about Calanthe at 14. Just because of how people give such stink eye to stuff below 15. So that's why I'm less worried about Calanthe. But let's not pretend that Calanthe does not have a combo and a bronze base that will not. I'm talking about Queen Calanthe here. Queen Calanthe, 14 provision cap. Coming in for Northern Realms with a single use ability. Order, play a Northern Realms faction card from your hand and draw a card. So first of all, the ability is so damn good for so many reasons. First of all, you draw a card. Second of all, you play 2 cards at once. Well, those are the 2 things. But now we've also seen a card like Sciana that cares about cards that are played twice. And we know that Queen Calanthe, Northern Realms faction card, Vernon Roach, has a deployability that kind of makes me a little squeamish thinking about it triggering twice, which seems like Calanthe can make that happen because Vests and Temerian Drummers are all there already, and they give Zeal to Sciana on the same turn you're playing Vernon Roach, so they're all there already. But if that wasn't enough, if you use all your Temerian Drummers and you use Vests as well, you also have all these units that can give shields to Sciana. If you're like kind of down to like scraping the barrel on, okay, they killed my drummer, and they killed my other drummer, and they killed my protected drummer, and they killed my protected vest, and they killed my boosted shielded vest. So you have to keep in mind that all these things have to happen. Oh, by the way, I played Queen Adalia for my extra drummer that also had a shield when I played it. So all of these things would have to be stopped for you not to play this Cyana combo. So how are we going to get through round one? With like the 5 different sick Northern Realms bronze cores that are available to Northern Realms. Because they have like some of the stuff they have for the Spellweavers and the Mages, like, and the stuff that you can already do with Arbalest and charges. Like, you build this Calanthe combo into whatever you want. Because Northern Realms cards in the expansion are really strong. So as far as, now the reason I am not talking about, Svalblod is different because I feel like Svalblod has like, the leader is giving you great value all throughout the game. But Calanthe is just like taking you out, right? The punch that just storms the gates with the Cintran Royal Guards and the Kidweni Knights is going to be such an ill combo. It's going to be one of the coolest things and one of the most funnest things in the game. And it's probably going to be consistent enough because it's going to feel like Dijkstra it's going to be like Hyper Dijkstra. You just have to get through round 1 and you just have to not get bled. With Svalblod, I think you're not going to get bled because I think that Svalblod has so many 4-point engines. Because I feel like Svalblod is this card and Meve wrapped up together and has a higher provision count. Maybe if I'm overvaluing Svalblod, at least I made my case. But I also think that the Queen Calanthe is very strong. I think that Dana is the coolest card. Dana might be the coolest of the leaders, which is saying a lot because all of these leaders are cool. But she might be the weakest one because of the 2 combos I just mentioned that Svalblod and Calanthe are kind of looking at her. So Calanthe, Cyana, and having just like a really, really hard way of stopping that Zeal because of Adalia making 3, like you have 3 drummers and Bess, and also maybe a Watchman. You have the Cintran Artificer, which is giving a shield on Zeal or Order. So specifically, you have it on Order, and also that's a 4-point unit that needs to be dealt with. So like, if I win with the Vernon Roach combo, how do you stop a hand that has a drummer that can get a shield, 3 drummers that could potentially get shields, and maybe Vess that doesn't get a shield, and Cyana as well. So I mean, yeah, like it seems like that combo is going to be pretty damn reliable and pretty safe. And Lady Lake also is shown, so that's also a safe way to get a shield. That's like a good early threat to test the waters for like the Northern Wind or the Moon Dust that could counter you. But that's pretty all in, right? Calanthe 14 strength. All these leaders are strong. All these leaders are good. The faction that got the best cards got a leader that I do not think is anywhere like, she is probably the 3rd best at worst. Because I mean, this effect is so damn good, right? It's play and draw, dudes. It's so good. It's play and draw. It's different from just a single use power play. You draw a card. So good. It means so much for your deck, which means so much for Northern Realms. It means so much for Pavetta. It means so much for Blue Stripe Commando Pavetta. It means so much for Cintran Guard or Kidweni Cintran Guard, like putting stuff back in your deck. Northern Realms cares about this on so many reasons, and it's a power play. So this card is great. Svalblod is also great because they just made this new archetype, and I'm already like completely sold that it is competitive as fuck already. But this is just good for Northern Realms in general. Svalblod is good for Skellige kind of because it makes all the self-wound stuff better because it justifies all of their costs. And there's also like a lot of, you wouldn't play Queen's Guard all the time. You wouldn't play in Shield Maiden all the time. You wouldn't play Elder Bear all the time, but you might play one of those bronzes, but you might play any of those bronzes because they might all be good with Svalblod. So Svalblod does a lot for the faction too. The leaders are all so good. And Dryads in general, look at Dana doing a lot for Harmony, but look at Dryads in general doing a lot for the faction. Harmony is a universal mechanic that helps the faction out, and Dryads actually increase the viability of a lot of cards that just needed Dryads in the game. Beckenbauer, Saskia, Isengrim's Council, all of those cards are just like, yeah, but I mean, there's only 2 Dryads, so like, if I don't like playing either of those cards, there's no place for those cards, then I'm just not, like, why am I going to spend 10 provisions? 10 provisions or enough provisions for a card that I'm only get like 1/3 of the, like 2/3 of the value reliably. So like a lot of scoia'tael was improved by the idea that just the dryads were in the game, even though the leader doesn't necessarily. The leader in turn gives more life to the faction because harmony is given much more realization. Plus the dryads themselves also have their own mechanics that they care about. They have like all this poison stuff that they can do just with the traps and the 2 cards that play poison plus the neutral poison cards. Also, they have dryads that care about dryads and dryads that don't care about dryads. It's awesome. So 3 new archetypes, 1 brand new deck with leader on harmony. Harmony in general probably being playable in any deck that you just want to maybe play Shoop in. You just maybe just play a couple of harmony engines because they're probably going to get value, just like you play Nazca Sergeant in Shoop. So scoia'tael just in general has like a huge richness infused into the faction, whereas the leader plays slightly less of a part, but also represents the most important part that's being added to the faction, which is harmony. But dryads also are very important for the rest of I'm just repeating myself. I just love it. I just love it so much. The Svalblod combo sounds like crazy, like I want to make that work, but it seems realistic that I can get those Beastmasters back with Freyas. It just seems realistic. Seems like that deck was already strong enough that it has enough forward momentum to be very good early. And this card just looks so good too. Like it can stand up to it. So I wasn't expecting a dev stream, but we pretty much got that today. Dane McBeard. Dana McBeard. It's basically Dane McBeard. That's her name. That's what we should always call her.